All right, guys, are we live? Let me see. Let's see, guys. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. All right, moderation activity. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Guys, what's going on? Welcome to the call. Oh, hold on. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. We've got Aaron Vogler in the house. We got Yemi. Let's freaking do this, guys. We gotta wait. We gotta get a few more people on here. Hopefully you can hear me. He did say he can hear me. Hopefully that is he said can, not can. Can you guys hear me, by the way? And who is live? I'm curious who is live on the call right now. I see Aaron, I see Yemi. Let me see who else is shaking and baking. And also let me know if you can hear me. Aaron, thank you for doing that. Let's see what else we have got, who else we've got on this call. Kurt, Thomas, my man, what's going on? Yeah, let me know, guys. Can you hear me? That would be really, really fantastic. Give me a second here. Let me go into the app. Okay, M says he can hear me or she can hear me. Don't know who that is. Let's go here. Beautiful. Okay, guys, welcome to the call. I got some exciting stuff that we're going to talk about today. I've got an announcement I'm going to make. This is a really, really fun topic that I want to share and talk about today. We're going to be talking about the laptop lifestyle, which everybody likes to talk about, everybody wants to achieve, but none of us really know if it's actually possible. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about laptop lifestyle today. So with that said, here's what I want to do. Let me just double check, make sure we're good. I think we're cranking. I first of all want to say that I appreciate you guys being on. I really, really do. In fact, hold on one moment. I'm going to go over here to YouTube. I've got a dual screen set up now. So if it looks like I'm looking at a few different places, it's because I am. But let me just check here. Okay, guys, if at any point you can't hear me, let me know. I've got my mic here. I've got a new little setup going on. Got the dual screen. First and foremost, let's get this party started with a little coconut edition, sugar-free, coconut berry, sugar-free. I think I already said that. Yes, I did. It's Monday. Don't hate me. Guys, I'm going to crack my bevy. You guys crack yours. Get a piece of paper out. Let's go ahead and just listen for the crack. I'm going to put it right here by the old deal. Oh, yes! Yes, guys. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, what a show today. What a show we got cooking for you guys. It is time to bring out the Versace robe as we do every week. So really, really quick. And guys, if you see me bouncing back and forth, my eyes, I'm looking at this screen. I'm looking at this screen. Cameras here. Notes are over here. So I'm going to be bouncing between both. But quick little recap of last week. Last week, we talked about, the episode was how to actually start a rank and rent business for less than $500. I want to recap that really quick. As always, it's worth your time to go and check out that episode. I put a lot of thought, a lot of effort. I spend every Monday morning, I spend all weekend thinking about the topic. I spend Monday morning finalizing my notes and what I want to cover. And I would highly recommend that you go and you watch all the different shows. And we're going to be doing this show forever, like literally forever. There's no point in my mind where I'm like, hey, I'm going to hand this off, or hey, I'm not going to be doing this. I love doing these lives. And I'm going to keep doing them. Okay. So real quick, I just want to do a recap of last week's episode. So last week we talked about how to start a rank and rent business, and the bullet points that we need to remember. Okay. Number one is, if you're going to start a business in this space and you only have limited funds, okay? I believe if you have, no matter what your situation as far as financially, but even if you have a lot of money, you're going to want to spend the least amount possible, right? Like, unless you're allergic to money, but especially those of us who we start this business and we don't have unlimited dollars, right? For those of us in that situation that don't want to spend a ton of money or don't have a ton of money to spend, if you want to start this business, you have got to realize that the only way you're going to be able to do it for that amount of money, or for any amount of money, to do the least amount possible, you need to be thinking about this in terms of rent, then rank, okay? Rent first, rank later. I'm here to tell you that the old school method of rank and rent it works. I don't want to say that it doesn't work, but I'm telling you that everyone out there that's telling you that it's more expensive to do rent than rank, set up a basic landing page, set up some ads, they ain't doing it. Okay. It's like when I bought my car, I bought a G-Wagon, and forever I heard everyone saying, well, and I say everyone, I heard a few of my close friends or acquaintances say, yeah, they don't drive well. They're like driving a tank, blah, blah, blah. And then one day my barber of all people said, dude, have you ever asked anyone who actually owns a G-Wagon if they like it? I'm like, no, that's actually a good idea. And I did. And this person raved. They said, dude, I've had 9. This is my 9th G-Wagon. Go test drive one. Test drive one within weeks, bought one on the spot. Okay. So don't listen, and make sure whatever information you guys are getting, before you take it as fact, before you take it as scripture, let's check the reference. Let's find out how much money they're actually making from this, okay? Not from selling their course, from this, from building simple websites, ranking them on Google, renting them out for hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars per month. How much money are they making with that business? Guys, with that said, I just want to let you guys know, for those that are brand new on this show for the first time, welcome to Makin Hay with Dre. Let me make sure we're still live here. Hold on. Let me update this. We're getting a little bit of some weird, hold on, hang tight, hold tight. This is the beauty of the live. This is the beauty of the live. Okay. For those that are brand new, this is a show where we talk all things digital real estate. Digital real estate being, we build websites, we rank them on Google, we rent them out for a profit every single month. It's like owning properties out there on the physical soil, like buying apartments, building apartments or duplexes or whatever, and renting them out to tenants. Okay, it's the same exact business model that we're using here. That is why we call it DRE, DRE, digital real estate. Okay, so number one, if you're going to start a business, just recapping last week, make sure you're looking at this as rent first and then rank. Number two is get very specific on exactly what you're going to do. You need to figure out what service are you going to offer, and it better be local lead generation if you're going to be on this channel. Number two, what niche are you going to be? Go into one single niche. You want to start a business and you want to waste a bunch of money? Go into a whole bunch of niches. Okay, next. Figure out what city you're going to go into. What is the criteria for choosing a good city? Are you going to base it on population? Are you going to base it on search demand? What's going to be your max? What's going to be your min? What's going to be your telltale signs that this is a good city? Have an awesome due diligence process put in place. Next, make sure you're only doing one deal structure. Flat fee is it's the holy grail of holy grails. Next, one contract. For me, it's 6 months. And then the last thing is have one sales process. Don't be over there. I mean, guys, when I was trying to scale this, I tried to do everything. I tried to wrap the car. I tried to do referrals. I tried to post on Facebook every single day. I tried all these things and nothing worked. If you do one thing long enough, it will work. But if you look at it, what's the different lead acquisition channels that we can use? Which one has the most upside? Which one has the most longevity? And let's do that one. And so for me, this sales process is what I talk about in the Facebook group, right here on the channel, on the TikTok, on the Discord, on the Instagram. Guys, if you're not in the Facebook group, get in the Facebook group. If you're not on the Discord channel, get on the Discord channel. If you can't get accepted to the Facebook group, send me a DM and I will let you in. If you send me a DM and you don't have a profile picture, or you look like some scam and you just started your Facebook yesterday, you're not getting in, okay? We have hundreds of people on the waiting list to get into a free Facebook group, because we want that group to continue to be an amazing place where people share resources, and there's not all these people trying to sell you stuff and all this, whatever, right? We've done a really good job at quality control, and it's going to stay that way. So number one, if you want to start a rank and rent business, recap, number one, use the rent, then rank. Number two, get very specific. Those are the items I just went through, which is one service, one niche, one type of city, one deal structure, one contract, one sales process. And lastly, set an exact freaking deadline. Y'all quit saying, I'm going to get to 10K. When are you going to get to 10K, man? How many more years are you going to let go by before you get to 10K? By the way, I used to think like 10K was the holy grail. Everyone wants to get to 10K. It's like this magical, mythical thing. Guys, I don't know what y'all are doing with 10K. Like the goal should be 30, 40, 50. Like until you can pay. In fact, here's what it should be. Until you can literally wake up in the morning and not work if you don't want to. Okay, which means you've escaped the rat race, which means you've escaped the matrix. Whatever that number is, that's the number that you should have as your minimum. Okay, that's it. So if you have a lot of bills, you have a big fancy house and you're a Mercedes and you've been a doctor and whatever, you had high income, you're a software sales guy and you've lived this lifestyle, in order for you to escape the rat race, it's going to take more deals. Okay, that should be the minimum number. Okay, this 10K across the board. I know it's like this exciting thing, but some of you don't need 10K and most of us need a lot more than 10K. Those are the main points that we talked about last week. Again, I highly recommend you go into episode 18, which is how to start a rank and rent business for less than $500. And with that, guys, let me see what we got cooking here. Who do we got on the show today? Let me see. My YouTube app is being very weird. It doesn't show me who's on. It doesn't show me much. Let me make sure we're still even on. Okay, we're good. Okay, guys, if you can hear me, let me minimize my window over here. If you can hear me, let me know. Who do we got in the house today? We've got Kurt says black coffee. Okay, good for you, bro. I'm all about hot drinks if it's cold outside, but as soon as it gets warm, I'm out. Okay, but I'm gonna stay with the Red Bull. Okay. Oh yeah, Kurt, real men don't drink coconut. Yes, they do, bro. You guys have to try this before you judge it. Justin Lucas says, why not? Who takes Facebook seriously? It's just a corp. Justin Lucas, I love the fact that you're on this call right now. And I love the fact that your comments are always very interesting. You're one day you're in support of this business model. The next day you're antagonizing it. I'm not really sure what your MO is. But the fact of the matter is because I am not going to have a bunch of people in my group. I don't know who you are. So if the profile picture is an issue, then you're not getting the group. So that's kind of where it ends. But thanks for asking, dude. Aaron Vogler says he can hear me. Beautiful. Okay, guys, let's go into the call today. Let's go into the call. Hang tight. I got some good juicy stuff today. I got something I'm going to share. Guys, one thing I want to mention really quick, it's something I'm going to be doing a YouTube video on this week or at some point, but I have always thought that in order to have a huge week, okay, in order to have a massive big week, that the key to those big weeks was having a huge Monday, okay, like making sure your Monday was dialed in, making sure you hit it hard, making sure you get deals, making sure you're doing the things that need to be done, you know, those hard things that move the needle, which I still believe. However, and I want to share this with you guys because this is something I'm a big person. I'm like, I always want to test. I always want to tweak. I always want to try new stuff. Over the past couple of weeks, I've had the most productive. These last 2 weeks have been the most productive 2 weeks in the last 5 years. Like bar none, the last 2 weeks of my life, I have gotten more done, and not just more in terms of volume. I have gotten more effective things done, things that actually move the needle. I have gotten more of that done and packed into the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 5 years. Those have been my most productive weeks. And I'm sharing that with you guys because I think I've figured it out. I think I've cracked the code. And although Monday is very, very, very important, there is another thing that needs to be done, and it needs to be executed properly every single week. And it's not planning, by the way, although that's part of it. Because many of you guys are going to think it's just planning. I have been testing something out the past couple of weeks, and it has changed the game. It has allowed me to get more done. It has allowed me, and by the way, no, this isn't like a pitch. I'm not selling something. This is just something I'm going to be sharing on YouTube. So watch out for the video coming out. But I've been doing something, and I've had some incredible freaking Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. It has been unbelievable. And the first week that it happened, I was like, maybe it's just coincidence. And now the second week, I'm like, okay, we're on to something. So I'm going to share this, and it's going to be a video that drops this week. So guys, check and watch for something titled How to Have a Big Week. And I'll make that video today. But I think I've cracked the code, and this is something I'm going to be very, very strict about. And I'm going to make sure it gets done every single week. And I encourage you guys to do the exact same thing. So but without sharing too much, you guys keep an eye and watch for that video. Okay. All right, guys, who wants to talk about the laptop lifestyle? Who wants to freaking talk about what all of us want to achieve, or all of us say we want to achieve? I do. I freaking love the idea of the laptop lifestyle. Grabbing your laptop, grabbing your backpack, grabbing a plane ticket, grabbing your medication, wherever you decide to go, if you're going to somewhere that might have some sicknesses or whatever, and just going and getting into a different environment. And maybe it's for a week, maybe it's for a month, maybe it's for a year, maybe it's indefinitely. But this idea of being able to make money from anywhere in the world has always intrigued me. It's been this fascinating but yet elusive thing that I've been chasing forever, since I heard about this business model, and I have been able to achieve it. And I want to talk about, I'm going to give you guys some background on that, some context to that. I'm going to make an announcement, and we're going to talk about some how-tos, some practical steps of how you guys can do it, obviously. And then we're going to have some time for some Q&A. So it's going to be a fun episode. I'm excited. I got a lot of energy. Again, it's because I'm executing on what I'm about to share this week. And this has been huge. And it's not, guys, it's not the Red Bulls. It's not some little magic pill. It is something that I'm doing every week, and something that I'm not doing combined. And I'm going to share that this week. So, guys, I have a question. I want this to be a little bit more engaged. I don't want you guys just sitting here with me talking and screaming and spitting all over you guys, but I want to know, and I want you guys to please, in the comments as I'm saying these things, and do it quickly. Let's get through this quick. I don't want to sit here for 2 minutes while I wait for your response, but I want to know, and you could put your favorite emoji, or you could put me, or you could say whatever you want, but I want to know, who in this call, who watching this right now, as part of their motivation for starting a rank and rent business, a digital real estate business, who in here, as part of that motivation, wants the ability and flexibility to travel the world and not be tied to one place? Okay. Who? I want to know, of all of you guys, who in here that is part of it. Now, I know maybe that's not everything. Maybe you also want to get out of debt, and you want to take care of your parents, and you want to buy a car, but like, who would say that traveling, seeing the world, having experiences, having adventure, and having the time freedom and the money freedom to be able to do that is a big motivation for why they either have started this business or want to start this business? And I want to know in the chat, okay? Who in the chat? Let's see. Justin Lucas puts a snowflake. Justin Lucas, bro, tell me your real identity. I love it, dude. I love it. Aaron Vogler. So Yemi says me. Justin says me. Kurt says me. Usman, Usman says me, or I'm in, whatever. Aaron, I like it. He says he's not too big into traveling. And that's okay, guys. That's okay. It's not even that you have to want to go to some crazy place. It's that you want to have the freedom to have the option to do such. Okay. So again, my YouTube's being kind of weird. There's a few people on. I don't know how many, what the percentage is, but I think if you asked most people want, even if they don't want to travel like you, Aaron, which I do like your honesty, you want the ability and the options to travel if necessary, or if you change your mind, right? Because right now you might not be big into traveling, but maybe you meet somebody, or you read a book, or you have a conversation, and it changes everything. Because that happened to me. Okay. Here's my next question for you. This will be the last second part of this question, and we'll get into the rest of this. This is a fun question. Okay. If you woke up tomorrow and you had enough money to pay all your bills, and you had enough money to whatever, you didn't have to work, you didn't have to worry about your family or whatever those things that stress you out, like everything was taken care of financially, and you could go and you could live somewhere else. I've asked a version of this question before, but it's always fun for me to see what everyone would say. Where would you go? What place, where on this earth, or in the US? Like, I want you to be specific. What city, what country? If you're in the US, what state? Where would you go tomorrow if you were to change everything, change your environment, uproot whatever you built, and go somewhere different, go somewhere new? Where would that be? I'm very, very curious, because I know we're going to get a variety of answers, and some people want to stay. And maybe for you, Aaron, it's Florida. Maybe for you, Aaron, it's a different part of Ohio. Maybe for you, it's California. It doesn't have to be somewhere exotic, but where would you guys go? I want to know in the comments, where would you go if you could, if you had the ability to transfer your entire life to another physical location, where would you go? I want to know. I'm going to take a sip of my Red Bull, my blueberry coconut berry Red Bull, and find out. Yemi says I'd stay in London. That's cool. Amazing. So Yemi, you want the freedom to be able to have that, but it's not necessarily something that's on your list. That's fine. M. Usman says Finland/Malaysia. Okay. Kurt Thomas says Red Top Mountain State Park in Georgia. Aaron says, if I did move, Seattle, the rain. Okay, cool. I love this. Great variety. Justin says Estonia. I don't even know where Estonia is at. I think is that where they go on Despicable Me? Is that where they go to visit the brother? Is Estonia? I think that is, if I'm not mistaken. Anyone else? Anybody else have a spot they would go? Let me check really quick here and see. Again, I've got something going on with my YouTube. I know you guys can hear me, but it's really giving me kind of a delay. Where would you guys go, man? This is the exciting part. Like, it's not that you have to go there. I'm not going to hold you to it. But if you could, maybe it's for a month, maybe it's for a week, maybe it's whatever. But if you could make money and your income would not dip, where would you go? Okay, we got some cool answers. London, Malaysia/Finland, Red Top Mountain State Park, Georgia. That's the US. Aaron says he'd go to Seattle. Justin said he'd go to Estonia. Anybody else have anything that they would toss out, places they would go? Okay. If you do, put them in the chat. I love seeing that, like, we're all chasing the same thing. We all want this time freedom, right? But we all have such different answers of like what that looks like for us. I think it's fascinating. So anyone else that's a little bit lagging behind, I would love to know. In fact, I'm going to put it in the comments. I'm going to put right here for anyone that jumps on. Where in the world would you move for a period of time to live the laptop lifestyle? Drop in comments. This is for people that hop on here in a second. Okay, cool. All right, guys, why am I asking you that question? Let's get into this. I want to really tell you guys give you guys a little bit of context and let you guys know why I'm sharing this. Okay. So when I first got into Rank and Rent, and yes, when I first did, I got into Rank and Rent, not Rent Then Rank, because I didn't know about it. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know it was possible to use other people's money to build out my properties. I didn't know that was a thing, right? Thank goodness for this dude named Nick Wood with blonde hair that screams for putting the blueprint together, right? I didn't know that was a thing. So I was doing the traditional Rank and Rent, but I remember I bought a program. I was like, hey, I don't want to go and try and piece this all together. I bought a program. And I filled out their application. It said, what are you looking to achieve? Like, what's some of the things that motivate you to start this business? And I specifically remember like feeling a little stupid, feeling a little dumb, feeling a little like pie in the sky. But I remember I want to travel. I want to be able to go somewhere with my laptop, with my family, and whatever it is, like sit on the beach, go do an adventure, go skiing, go see the world. Like this whole idea of travel. And guys, if you remember right, travel right now is like a no-brainer. Everyone wants to travel. It's like even these young kids with no money, they're spending all their money on travel, right? Travel and clothes. But 10, 15 years ago, the world didn't seem as small as it does right now. I didn't know that many people that had just up and left and gone different places. It was like this foreign thing, but I thought it was such a cool idea. So it's always been a huge driver. And then around 2014, this is a couple years before that. This is kind of what initially got me excited and interested. Is I read this book, The 4-Hour Work Week, by our good friend Tim Ferriss. No, I do not know Tim personally. One day I will. But I do not know Tim personally, but I love his book. It's hilarious. It's awesome. And it just blew my mind. It opened my mind to the possibilities. Okay. So when I filled out this application, I was like, hey, that's actually something I'm really interested in. And I love the idea. Maybe you guys can relate, but I love the idea of just being able to like go and see the world and learn a new culture, learn a new language, try exotic foods, and be able to take my family with me and make stupid freaking money. To be that person that's like, I don't know what they do. I know they do it online, but they make a lot of money and they're able to like spend their time having fun and doing exciting things, right? If you guys have ever read the book Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, shout out to Nike, shout out to Phil Knight. He talks about like he had this idea to go and start this company, this shoe company. And then he kind of got stuck and he was like, man, is this what life's about? Is like going to punch in the clock? And then he realized, like, dude, I believe that life's about having fun, and like every moment we're having fun, and it's about play, and and that's what he did, is he built his entire life like that. So that was a really inspiring book for me to read. But guys, I was enamored and just like captivated by this idea of being able to live this laptop lifestyle, right? Everyone is talking about it, and it's like, was it really achievable? And that is one of the biggest reasons. There were other reasons, but it's one of the biggest reasons I initially jumped into this model, guys. I wanted to have the ability, even if we didn't travel every second of every day, to have the option, if we wanted to, on a Thursday, pick up and go to Mexico, pick up and go to South America, pick up and travel across the country. That's what I wanted, okay? And that was one of the biggest reasons why. Now, I'm not one of those families or one of those people. You are not going to catch me selling my house and getting in an RV. Like, that does not sound fun to me at all. It might sound fun to you. That does not sound fun to me. I love my family. I love my kids. I need a little bit of space. I need a place where I can come to an office and escape a little bit. That's just me personally. So I'm not an RV guy. I'm not going to go, sell everything, rent a houseboat and be a nomad. I like to have a base, but I also like seeing the world and trying new stuff and seeing new people. And every time I go somewhere, it allows me, like, that creativeness in me is just tapped into, and it's amazing and it's fun and I love doing it. And the more that I focus on my business, the more I feel like I need that. Okay. Again, why am I saying this, and why am I bringing this up, and how does this all tie together? Guys, and I said this a couple weeks ago on the call. I did a call and I was on a cruise ship. And I was in the Gulf of Mexico. We were on this cruise ship, and I was talking a little bit about the laptop lifestyle there too. But it hit me. I'm like, dude, Nick, you're doing this. Like, you're on a cruise ship. You're making money. It's exactly what you wanted to do. You're paying your bills. You did it on a whim, and here you are. And I was reading the Stripe notifications. Hey, $2,000 just came in, $4,000, $7,000. And it kind of hit me. I'm like, dude, I've made it. I've made it to where I wanted to go. And I'm not doing it. I'm not like taking advantage of it, man. Like, I could live anywhere in the world right now. Nothing would change with my business. The only thing that would be different is my time. And so a couple of weeks ago, when I was on that cruise, I really was like woken up to the fact of like, dude, Nick, you did it. You made it. You cracked the code, man. You have a business that can actually do this. And you should have gotten there a lot quicker, but you got there. And so, guys, here we go. I want to just tell you guys something that's pretty exciting. And where this really kind of stems. So that moment that I had on the cruise ship of like, hey, I actually can do this. I am here. I do have the ability to live anywhere. That, coupled with another experience, a conversation I had with one of my students. So I had this conversation with one of my students, and he said something really interesting. I was interviewing him. He got his first deal. This is a couple months ago. And we were talking about like why he wants to build this business. Okay. And everyone's different. And he said something that really was like an eye-opening thing for me. He's like, I can't imagine living in my entire life and he said some mountain range. I can't even remember. He's like, and not hiking the Appalachians, whatever. I don't even remember what mountain range it was. He said, and not hiking such and such mountains. This is what he said. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me a sec. All right, I'm back. I had to make sure you guys are awake. Sorry, guys. I always turn up the heat too much here. Let's make sure, and I'm gonna send this home. I don't know why YouTube's being so weird here. Let's see what we got here. All right. So I had this conversation with this guy. I interviewed him. He's one of my students. And essentially he says to me, like, I can't imagine living my whole life and not hiking XYZ mountain range or doing this with my kids or doing whatever, right? And I started thinking about it. I'm like, dude, he's right, man. I can't imagine like living this entire life and living with regret. Like, it sounds like terrifying to me. And so these two things happened to me recently, and they kind of just woke me up. So me and my wife have been talking for, and this is where I'm going to get into like this little announcement. I want to share this with you guys. Is me and my wife for months have been talking about like, I told her after the cruise or on the cruise, I said, babe, we can do this from anywhere. Like, I know that like, you know that, but like the kids are young. The kids are adaptive. They'll be fine. Like we can live anywhere you want to live. I'm ready for an adventure. And she was not super keen to the idea in the beginning. And then a couple months ago, she hit me up and she's like, she just brought this up. She didn't hit me up. We live in the same house. And she's like, I'm ready for a change. We need to go somewhere. We need to get out. She's like, I go and I wake up and I go to the gym and I see the same people. And then I go to the gas station and get a drink every day at the same drink. And then I come home and I take the kids to do this and that and the rest. Like we have the same life we've had for 5 years and it's amazing. And I thank you for it, but we need to change. And so she started doing some homework and she started looking at Florida. She started looking at some places and she's like, got really serious about it. And so like, she put in applications for apartments and I'm like, okay, she's very, very serious about this. And so last week I told her, I said, okay, here's the deal. I said, let's have this conversation and let's go to dinner and let's talk about this. Like, seriously, let's talk about this. So you guys are going to love this. This is where I'm getting into the announcement is last Thursday, we had a little date night, went to Buffalo Wild Wings of all places, baby. Love me some dry rub. What's it called? Dry rub. What's that one called? Salt and vinegar dry rub. Out of this world. If you guys haven't tried that out, phenomenal flavor. You got to get the dry rub. I don't think they even offer it with the sauce. Got some wings and we were just chatting. And I was like, look, we can do this business model from anywhere in the world. I don't even really have to talk to my clients. And plus I have a project manager that's like doing everything, right? Secondly, I said, if we don't do it right now, when are we going to do it? We keep saying we should, but when are we going to do it? Right? I said, our kids, and she agreed, our kids are at this perfect age. As they get older, it's going to be harder to uproot them and peel them away. And so it's like, and then I finally said to her, I said, look, I'm only 32 years old. She's the same age as me. I said, all the things that I regret in my life are things that I didn't do. Not the things that I did, not the things that I was a knucklehead and did. And I'm like, oh, I should have done that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. And I do wish I could change it. The things that really sting, the things that really like are on my mind when I think of regrets are things I didn't do. And I said, I'm like, this is the only thing that keeps me up at night is regret, is the idea of waking up one day, being 40, 50, 60, 70, or being on my deathbed and realizing that I didn't do something that I could have done and I missed the window. Okay. And so, and lastly, my last whole thing was this. So I started thinking about this. I'm like, guys, I'm always somebody that likes to lead from the front. And I told you guys, I'll never on this channel tell you guys to go into a niche unless I've tried it. I'm never going to give you advice unless I've done it. And so I'm like, what a better way to show everyone that you can do this from anywhere than to go and live the laptop lifestyle. And so, my friends, here it is. I am pleased to announce, and you guys are amongst the first of people besides my family to know this. I just told my employees last night, but we're moving. We're out. We're moving, baby. We are moving. Now, we're not selling the house. We're not selling the cars. We're not selling and moving. We're luckily in a place that we're fortunate enough that we are able to just keep this and then just go set up shop somewhere else. So we're not, all this is staying the same. This house, everything else, we're keeping this. Okay. But we are moving. We're doing it. Okay. And so Thursday, we talked about it Thursday night and I was like, let's do it. Ultimately, my wife finally, like, she was giving on me all these objections. I said, babe, you're going to be a customer and I'm going to tie you down and I'm going to metaphorically sell you on this. And you come up with objections. And she kept coming up with objections. And I was like, boom. Anyway, by the end of it, she said, okay, we doing it or not? Like, are we going to do it? And I was like, oh, you're really in agreement. Next morning, 9 a.m., I booked tickets. And we are out of here, guys. I'm going to be out within 2 weeks. I'm going to be out of here and I'm not going to be in the US anymore. So there's that. Okay. What do we have as far as feedback? Let's see what we got. Okay, Brian Joseph, wife and I work for Fort Myers 3 months per year, 4 years now. Best business months every year. Sunshine and margaritas, key to success. Brian Jones, I freaking love the idea of margaritas and sunshine. Goal is 6 months in Portugal. Guys, any ideas? I want to know what your guesses are. Is where do you guys think we are moving? Where would your guess be? You guys know I love the sun. I love the heat. I love palm trees. I love sand. I hate the cold. Where would you guess? Where do you guys think we are going to be moving? We are out, yo. We're not going to be in this country. We are moving out of this country. Now, just to give you guys, and by the way, I may tell you guys where we're moving on this call. I may not. I may announce it a little bit later with a video drop or something like that. But we are moving. I'm curious what guesses you guys have. But no, this is the cool part about it is we are doing this kind of like a trial run. And I read somewhere in here there was a family kind of did something, and they said, hey, let's, we have all these fears, we have all these doubts, and they went and did a 1 month trial run. So what we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be taking the next 3 months, and we're doing a minimum of 3 months. We're doing it. We're taking the kids, all of it. In fact, right now, the reason I was 5 minutes late to this call is I was getting my medications, and I was at the health clinic, the health department, literally 30 minutes before this call, and signing paperwork and everything else. And we're out. Passports ready to go. Bought the suitcases, ordered the stuff. I'm freaking absolutely terrified, and I am exhilarated at the same time. Where do you guys think we're going? Let's see what we got here. Where are you going country-wise? Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker says, where are you going, bro? Country-wise. That's what I'm asking you guys. He says he thinks Italy. Kirk Thomas, Sierra Leone, spelled incorrectly, but I know what you're saying. Good guess. Siberia. Let's see. Puerto Rico for tax benefits. Ooh. Mona Chan says Africa. You guys, what else? Anyone else have any ideas? Maybe we'll do something special for the person that actually guesses it. Okay, keep going. I'm curious. As I continue, I would like you guys to try and guess where we're going. Okay. Again, the only people that know is my mom, my parents, my siblings, as well as my in-laws, and anyone that is like that. It's going to affect whether I go get a haircut or whatever. Those people know. But other than that, we haven't told anybody. Okay. We're just going to wake up one day and be gone. Okay. That's kind of how we like to roll and just play it off. Aaron Bogo says Zimbabwe. Good guesses, guys. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm going to keep going while you guys keep going. Anyway, it's going to be a blast. We've got everything pretty much set up. We're going to be getting an apartment, which I have already gotten the works. I'm going to be wiring the money. We're going to be buying a car. We're going to be getting the kids lessons for their favorite sport. We're going to be learning the local language. We're going to get somebody to give us one-on-one lessons. We're going to go and have an adventure. And here's the best part, guys. I'm going to make the exact same amount of money. I am going to make the exact same amount of money. Nothing's going to change. I'm going to keep doing these lives. So don't worry. We're going to keep doing these lives. I'm going to keep building websites. I'm going to keep ranking websites. I'm going to keep doing sales calls. I'm going to keep building my companies, but I'm going to do it from anywhere in the world because we have truly achieved the laptop lifestyle. And I've told my wife that I'm going to take a day off every single week to go and she's like, if we're moving that far away, you're taking a day off, yo. Like, we're going to go do some fun stuff. We're not just going to go keep, whatever, sitting up in a place for all day. And I'm totally in agreement with her, but this is going to be unbelievable experience for me, for the kids. All I'll tell you is I am terrified and exhilarated at the exact same time. Okay. So what's interesting, guys, is the few people that we've told outside of our family, and even our family, some of them have said the following thing, and this is their response. Especially when we tell them where we're going. Why? That's cool. That's cool. How come? What you got? Everything's cool right there, dude. You got the house, you got the pool, you got you got your vehicles, and like everything's going smooth. Why? What are you doing? Why would you do that? Right? That's what we keep getting that response. Like, okay, that's awesome. We're excited for you guys. I wouldn't do it, but I'm excited for you guys. So they say, but why? Why? Like, you guys cool? Like, everything good? Like, that's what the response we're getting. And my response to everybody has been, because why not? Right? Why not? We have the business model to build a business that allows us to do whatever we want, whenever we want, dressed however we want, with whatever political views we want, living in whatever country we want, setting the schedule that we want. Guys, we literally have the formula to go and build the dream life. Like, I know it sounds like some fake thing that, and I thought it was some whatever forever too, but here we are and we're actually freaking doing it. You guys, this is a business model. Okay, this is where I'm going to get in, tying this in. This is a business model where you choose the life. Okay, you choose what kind of life you want to live, and then you build the business model around the life. It's not one of those that you have this business and then you got to build your life around it. You choose the life and the lifestyle, and then you build the business around it, and it fits any lifestyle. And maybe you don't want to travel. Maybe you want to sit right where you're at, but you know what? You want to go and become the best tennis player in your city. Or you want to go and go start a YouTube channel and start reviewing freaking energy drinks. I don't know. Like, you don't have to be somebody that wants to travel, but the point is, guys, that the when I say the laptop lifestyle, you can insert whatever it is you want. Maybe you don't want the laptop lifestyle, but you want the ultimate freedom. Like, you want to be able to go to the gym 4 times a day. Maybe you're a gym guy and you want to go and do bodybuilding competitions and not be, you guys, I don't know, it's so funny. Whenever I watch these documentaries on bodybuilders, it's like, yeah, they're jacked, but not all of them, but a lot of them. You see where these guys live? Like, they don't make a lot of money. Even at the very top, these guys don't make a lot of money. What if you could make unlimited money, bills paid, and now go focus on it, right? I thought this was really cool. We just had somebody join our program, a couple weeks ago. And this is a professional golfer, somebody that is literally on the tour. And they said to me, they said, I have sponsors and, you know, things are good, but I'm tired of being on the 8th hole, the 9th hole, getting ready to go on the back 9 and wondering and being so stressed out because if I miss this shot, I don't know if my sponsor is going to keep me and I'm going to have the lights on next week and I might have to go get another job. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep building my golf career. I'm going to keep chasing that dream, but I want to build something that pays the bills and everything else is just a bonus. So that person's not going to go travel out of the country right now. They are going to build their dream of being a professional golfer, right? And continue and like it's amazing. You could, whatever the lifestyle is, dude. Maybe you want to go and you want to go and buy a farm and like get a horse and dress like you're Rip from Yellowstone and wake up every morning and feed the chickens and feed the horses and teach your kids the value of hard work and have a 4-wheeler. And like, that's kind of the life that I grew up. That's my dad, what he wanted. You can have that. It's so freaking awesome. Literally whatever you can imagine, you can have. And we have a vehicle that's like, okay, you design the life and now you go and you build the life and you use this model to achieve the life. Okay. So my answer for everyone that says why is my answer is why not? Okay. So maybe your dream isn't to move out of the country. Maybe it's not to do what I'm doing. That's fine. Okay. Or maybe it is, and you want to go somewhere different. Maybe you want to go to somewhere like London or whatever. I'm not going to London, by the way. But whatever it is, this business model makes it possible, and doing it rents. So here's the punchline here. The rank and rent business model, the digital real estate business model, building simple websites and renting them out for profit every single month is the model that can help you achieve your wildest dreams. Okay. I'm living proof of that. Like, literally, when you guys hear the announcement, you hear it, see where I'm going, and you follow. We're going to have a YouTube channel. We're going to have an Instagram. We're going to have a blog, all that stuff. You guys, if you want to follow along, and I'm going to continue. This business ain't going to dip one penny. Okay. It's going to grow. And you know why? Because we have systems in place. We have something that's recurring, that has assets. We have total control over our business. This isn't an SEO business where my clients are going to find out I'm traveling and go, whoa, I'm not paying that guy. No, I'm going to continue to produce results because I'm using and leveraging the internet to make my money. Okay. But nonetheless, guys, I'm living proof that whatever that goal, that dream is, whatever that adventure is, this is the catalyst. This is the vehicle that you can use and should use to achieve it. Period. End of story. Okay. So how do you do it? How can you do it? What's the framework? How do you go in and achieve this? Maybe you're sitting in an office right now in maybe you work for Microsoft and you're making $15,000 a month and you guys have a couple of expensive car payments and a nice house and the kids go to the private schools. You're like, how do we get out of this rat race, man? And that's the scary part for those of you that are in that comfortable spot. 8 grand, 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand. You're not rich and you're never going to be rich, right? You're not, period. It's going to take you forever to get that raise. And the raise isn't going to be worth the time and the soul sucking energy that you guys are going to spend to do it. But you're in the worst spot because you're comfortable and it's pretty good. And you have money for a little vacation here and there. And you have a nice car and you get to not necessarily pay attention to the menu. And you're doing just good enough that you're comfortable. Those are the people I'm most scared for. Okay. But maybe that's you. Maybe you're in Seattle or whatever, and you're working for Microsoft. You're like, man, I'm looking at the writing on the wall. And this is where I was, guys. I wasn't working in a posh office for Microsoft, but I was knocking doors and I was only having to work 5 months a year. But I was handcuffed to that job because it allowed me to build a lifestyle that let me get trapped into this job. I had a lifestyle where I had to make 150 grand, 100 grand, 125 grand to maintain this lifestyle. And as I looked at it, like that was the best option to continue. But I knew that I would never get rich. I would never make millions of dollars and certainly not millions of dollars per month. And so I got in this really weird spot where I was like, I have to get out. And people didn't understand it. And people said, you're stupid. You're walking away. I remember this one guy, I was out on the lake and I told him about this business model. Okay. I told him about this business model. And his name's Joe. And Joe, I hope you watch this video, bro, because I would love to have this conversation. You might not remember, but I told him about this business model. And I said, I'm not doing the door-to-door thing next year, bro. And I told him about it. He's like, yeah, it sounds kind of cool. He's like, but can it replace sales money? Can it replace sales money? That's what he said to me. And it pissed me off so bad. I was like, I swear to you, I'm going to make this work. And I can't wait until I've made this work. And I can watch where you're at stuck in that job that you think is so good. And guess what? Here we are 5 years later, and I'm literally making millions of dollars wearing my underwear in a Versace robe. And I am about to leave the country and make the exact same amount of money and have the adventure of my life. And homeboy is stuck where he's at because he has to go and knock on doors. And so anyway, just a little, it pissed me off and it really made me mad. But guys, maybe that's you. Maybe you're stuck in this comfortable spot. Maybe you're working for Microsoft. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're working on the oil rigs in North Dakota and you want to get out. It's a really simple formula. Okay. And this is what I did when I wanted to get out. Number one, you have got to get clear, man. You have to get clear on exactly what you want. What do you want in terms of money? How much do you want to make? And how do you want life to look? Because if you just say, I want to make $1 million a year, you are going to find out there's a lot of ways to make $1 million. And a lot of those are soul sucking ways. And I'm not talking because you're doing OnlyFans and it's a moral thing. I'm talking you're putting in 100-hour weeks working on Wall Street, banging the phones, whatever. You know what? Banging the phones 7 days a week and shortening my lifespan and having ulcers and speeding up the time I die is not worth a $250,000 a year. Sorry, it's not. Like, it's just not, right? So there's a lot of ways to make $1 million, but you need to get very specific about what you want. And for me, it was, I want to make millions of dollars, but I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to set my schedule, wear what I want, wake up when I want, do whatever, and have complete control and have ultimate upside, complete scalability. I had these criteria and I was very specific about what I wanted, right? But not specific enough. I wasn't specific enough. And I ended up in a spot where I took on SEO gigs. And next thing you knew, I had an SEO business, not a lead generation business, not a local lead generation business, not a digital real estate business. Okay. So get very, very clear on what you want. Figure out, secondly, what it's going to cost. Okay. Maybe your ideal life, Brian, I love that. He wants to go to Portugal for 6 months. By the way, speaking of Portugal, if you guys haven't seen the Netflix documentary about where is Madeline, whatever, she was on a trip in Portugal when she got swooped up. I only watched part of the first episode, so I don't know if she actually got swooped up, but they're making it really seem like she got kidnapped. So shout out to Portugal. What a scenario. Okay. Brian Jones. Okay. How much is it going to cost you? How much money do you need to make? And like, what kind of arrangements do you need to make within your job? Do you need to be able to quit your job? What does that look like? Get very clear on what it looks like and what it's going to take. That's step one. Step two, you guessed it. create a freaking simple roadmap. I need $15,000 in my pocket every single month that is safe, that is not going to go away during Christmas, that is not going to go away because the season changes. Okay, great. How many of these little websites how much per month do I need? What kind of contracts do I need? What kind of industries do I need to go into? So in case this recession keeps getting worse, I am still safe, right? And build out a map, okay? Build out a map of how many properties you need. That's it. Your wildest dream, your next adventure is only a couple of web assets, a couple of digital real estate assets away. That's it. That's it. Your trip to Spain that you want to take so bad, it's a website away. It's one client away, one digital real estate property away. And guess what? They're not that expensive to build. This isn't like we have to go buy real estate and it costs us thousands of dollars for just a down payment. Okay. These are literally hundreds of dollars. And if you do the rent, then rank, you land the client up front, recoup all your money immediately, and boom, use their money to build it on the back end. Like I'm not going to get into it, but you guys know that. Okay. So step one, get very, 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 very clear on what you want, how much money it's going to take as the second part of step one. Number two, create a roadmap of how many of these digital assets you're going to need and by when, which is step three, is when. When do you want this to happen by? Set a freaking deadline. When you set a deadline on when, like we did with this whole, like us getting out of here, right? We said, I booked the flights on Friday. We're leaving next week, dude. Like I'm leaving next week. We just set a deadline. We booked the ticket and said, hey, we're not doing the trip, trip cancellation thing. We're going, we'll figure it out. We will. And it's crazy because whatever amount of time you have is whatever amount of time you figure out how to do it within. So set a deadline. Okay. And then all that's left is number four, go and execute on the plan. Do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. And I'm here to tell you, there's going to be days when you're going to be excited. There's going to be days when you get up early and you're like, I'm going to build this thing. They're going to go crush it. We're going to have this life. And there's going to be days when you get a client that cancels or somebody that's mean on the phone, or you had an argument with your significant other the night before and didn't sleep well. And you're going to feel like you got punched in the gut or got kicked in the teeth. And you're going to wake up with a metaphorical, black eye, and you're going to want to quit. And you're going to want to take the day off, and you're going to want to go back into that comfortable spot that you've always been, that's led you to the comfortable spot that you're in, but will never allow you to be rich. And all that you have to remember is that in order to achieve anything, you just have to get clear about what you want. And then you have to figure out the map and exactly what it takes. And then you do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, regardless, and not taking into account how you feel that day. Because trust me, guys, I'm tired and not feeling like doing it more days than I feel like doing it. Today, I feel like doing it though. I'm excited because, like I told you guys at the beginning, I think I found a little hack and I can't wait to share it with you. But there are still days, like last week, I had one of the most productive weeks of my life. Wednesday, I was dragging, man. Thursday, I was dragging. Not enough sleep, not enough time. People calling me. I literally physically threw my phone at the door one of the mornings because I forgot to put it on airplane mode and I kept getting a call and I just threw it at the door. Okay. Didn't break. Thank goodness. Whatever. Awesome. Okay. Number one, get clear on exactly what you want. Figure out how much it's going to cost. Number two, create a roadmap of exactly how many deals it's going to take to get there. Number three, set a timeline on exactly when it needs to be accomplished by. Number four, go execute. Do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, regardless of how it feels. That is the framework, guys. I know you're expecting some crazy, take this little pill and do this. And there's this ice bath and the plunge and the sauna. It's like, no, I don't do any of that. I don't. I do go to the gym and make sure I'm staying healthy every day. There's no secrets. It's that simple. Okay. But the secret is in the execution. The secret is in, hey, I'm going to do this time because, and I'm going to end with this, is how many more experiences, how many more trips, how many more opportunities are you going to let go by before you realize that like this life is more than just punching the clock, man. This life is more than punching the clock. And when are you going to get pissed off that me, who's average in every way, who went to an average high school, below average high school, who didn't graduate college, who literally did nothing besides worked on a farm and learned how to drive tractors, is making millions of dollars and is about to take his family on the adventure of a lifetime? When are you going to get pissed off that I get to do it and you're not? Right? And not pissed off in a jealous way, but pissed off in, if he can have it, I sure as heck can have it. And if his kids can have it, my kids can have it. And if his wife gets to deserve it, why shouldn't mine? Why should I? It's a rhetorical question. Why should I deserve it and you shouldn't? Exactly. You should. You deserve it just as much as I do. And if you're willing to put in the work and you have the right business model, and I heard Hermosi say this, so talking about Warren Buffett, if you pick the right boat, if you're in the boat that has the ability to go fast, if you're in the right vehicle, that is the game. Okay. It is not about, hustling 100 times harder than everyone. You have to be in the right vehicle, and then you have to know exactly what to do. And then you just have to execute on it. And guys, on this channel, in our Discord group, obviously in my Digital Landlords program, which is where we show you exactly how to do it quickly. That's the blueprint. I'm trying to give you as many tips. I'm trying to inspire you guys to go, and don't let another experience pass you by. Don't wake up with regrets, because you can get money back, guys. You can go and you can go and make the money back. You can go and buy another car. You can go do all these things, but what you can't do is go back and buy your time back. You can't. You can buy future time by going to people who have done it and having them show you how to do it, like I do with Digital Landlords. But stuff that you've wasted time on, you can't go and buy that time back. It's spent. It's spent. You can buy future time, but you can't buy it. So quit wasting time trading your time for dollars. All right. With that, let me see what we got. We got a bunch of good guesses. We got Thailand, we got Mexico, we got Bali, Northern Russia, freaking Aaron going ham, Ukraine. Guys, we actually just signed a student into our program from Ukraine. Pretty freaking wild. We have a Ukrainian. They don't live in Ukraine, but they just got out of Ukraine. That's going to be a freaking awesome story. We also just got somebody from Pakistan, dude. Like, this is worldwide happening. Okay. Straight love from Kenya. You should come to Kenya for that matter. Quick question. Do you think AI chat GTP will ruin this model since AI? You know what? I think you can look at it one of two ways. I'm excited about the chat GPT thing. Like, it's going to make content. If I'm a content writer, I'm terrified. But like, here's my thoughts on anything like that. Like, it's exciting. Let's figure out how to use it to our benefit. And I always think about it like this. Let's say the whole world blows up, the sky falls. Dude, I'm an entrepreneur, man. I'm always going to figure out how to make this work. And if this business model goes to hell in a handbasket, which I do not see happening, I'm going to be in a lot worse spot than you guys, because I'm staking my entire fortune, my entire life on this model. Okay. So no, I don't think it's going to ruin it. I think it's going to change it. And I think that we're going to have to be ready, but it's going to be a huge help if we figure out how to harness it. So don't let that keep you up at night. If anything, that should make you excited. Mona says India. Carlos says Australia. Dubai would be freaking sick. And it's possible, guys. You right now. Okay. Who said that, by the way? Dubai. Kurt, you are a couple of deals away from doing that, if that's what you wanted. You are literally a couple of deals away from going and living that lifestyle. There's no reason you couldn't, right? You figure out how much it costs. You figure out what it would take. You figure out how you could quit whatever you're doing, and you go do it. Why not? You know what the alternative is, Kurt? You wake up in 20 years, you didn't do it, and you talk, and you're that guy or whatever. You're that grandpa that's talking about how you almost did it. You should have done it. I was this close to doing it, and I didn't. Okay? Don't be the guy that almost bought into vitamin water. Don't be the guy that almost bought into Snapple. Don't be the guy that almost partnered with Phil Knight. Okay. Be that guy, be that woman, go and do it. Okay. And quit letting years pass you by, months pass you by. Get started, guys. Freaking get started for the love. If you guys are on this channel and you're not started, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Okay. Sorry, getting a little excited there. Philippines. Brian says Colombia. And I would clarify, are we talking Colombia? Or are we talking Colombia? Are we talking about Medellin with Mr. Pablo Escobar and Cali cartel? Or are we talking about Colombia, South Carolina? Because Colombia sounds fascinating. Colombia, I'm going to build some lead gen sites there, but I'm probably not going to move there. Okay. Justin Lucas says Indonesia. Great guesses, guys. I'm not going to announce it on this. The reason being is I think I'm going to do a nice, fun, exciting little drop on the YouTube channel. So keep an eye on that. Guys, my hope today, I hope that something I said spurred a thought within you that you wrote down and said, hey, I need to start doing this. Okay. Maybe it's you need to go and you need to draw a line in the sand and say, I'm going to do this by this day. And I'm going to figure out how much it would cost for me to take my family to do this. Or maybe you don't have a family and it's just you. I'm going to go and do this. Whatever it was that you wrote down, I'm hoping that me being an example will inspire somebody on this call that life is not about punching the freaking clock. It ain't about that, man. It can't be. I don't care what you believe in. It cannot be about punching the clock. And there is an opportunity in front of us, and it is not known worldwide yet. We're still at this perfect point. Guys, for the love, I keep calling the show Makin Hay with Dre, because there is time to make hay and the sun is bright as ever. And some of you guys, unfortunately, are going to miss the opportunity. You're going to miss the window. And I'm here begging you, screaming from the rooftops, screaming from the housetops, do not let it pass you by. And with that, guys, watch the channel. You're going to see some exciting announcements. I'm going to tell you guys where I'm going.